Okay, so everybody, welcome to New Moon in Scorpio. If you want to have all of your props available and close to you on your mats, our first posture is not for anyone who has who has had a hernia. So if you have any kind of issues in that way, just don't put the blanket under your belly. But the first posture we're going to set up is a rolled up blanket underneath the belly button. Okay, so I'll let you guys get that set up and I'll see you on the other side. So preparing your space even at this moment, if you need to, if you thought, hey, I need a candle burning or a stick of incense, doing that now. If you're already on your mat, maybe you've laid out a blanket underneath you as well. Resting one ear on the mat, arms to your sides, palms face up, big toes come together. And this is time to fully ground, fully connect with the earth beneath you. Inhale, the back body fills. Exhale, the front body sinks deeper into the earth. Resting here, focusing on your breath. And perhaps you take this time to reflect on what has brought you here to your mat today. Was there a calling to connect with yourself? Was it a calling to connect in with the body or with the breath, with an intention? Bringing your awareness more and more to the space between the eyebrows. The home of your inner vision. Where the intuition and the images of the other world pass by like images on a movie screen. We become witnesses. Expanding out the edges of the body on an inhale. Sinking deep into the earth on an exhale. And if you've never had a blanket in this spot before, you may observe new sensations. The images and visions of the belly. Sometimes they unlock during our practice. Sometimes they take days to unfold. We come into this practice of releasing whatever is stored in our guts. So that we can learn the language of our body. Breathing deeply into the back body, expanding out your edges, sinking deeper into the earth on your exhale. And we call in any guides, ancestors, spirits, energies or entities, known or unknown, that wish to support us here tonight. We call to the north, home of the primal entity, ancestors, ancient ones, and ask them to support us here in our practice. Holding space for the deep work we wish to do tonight. We call to the guides and the guardians, energies and entities of the West, known and unknown, asking them to join us here, supporting us in our work tonight. We call to the south, energies and entities, ancestors, guides, residing in this space to join us, to stabilize our fire. Known and unknown joining us here tonight. And in the east, ethereal beings, entities, energy, guides, known and unknown. We ask them to come here and join us in our circle. And with these strong energies around us, we release into the feeling of vulnerability. Feel your heart connect with the earth, switch the ear that is now placed on the ground. If you are on the right ear, switch to the left. Deepen the breath into the back body. Feel the backs of your hands and the tops of your feet, resting and releasing. We are brought here under the energy of the new moon in Scorpio. To reach into our bodies and to release what is no longer for us. what has not grown, what was once ours but is now no longer ours. And perhaps you feel some of these things releasing down into the earth, knowing that at any time during this practice, what you release will be received and transformed by the earth, becoming one with everything else. It loses its power over you, and you become just a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter. Remembering that sometimes what we release is not necessarily negative. It's just something we don't have room for anymore. Thanking what it was once helpful. Inviting in space for something new. We'll begin to transition into the next posture by walking the hands to the front of your mat, placing the elbows underneath the shoulders, coming into Sphinx, rolling the shoulders down the back, feet hip distance apart. Gently touch the tops of the toes on the earth, kneecaps hover. Relax your inner thigh. If your elbows are out too wide, your chest will be really close to the earth. So tuck those elbows in, framing the chest, shoulder distance between the elbows, shoulder distance between the wrists. And tuck the chin slightly, pointing the crown of the head to where the ceiling and the wall meet. If you wish to switch the position of the blanket, bringing it a little bit closer to the hip bones, tuck the toes under and roll yourself forward slightly. And then come back to the tops of the feet. Draw the shoulders back, bring the chest and heart forward. Opening your heart to the wall in front of you, soften your gaze or close your eyes. Become aware of where you're trying, where you're pushing, where you're forcing. And the Sphinx is always an opportunity to ask your question. In your mind's eye, begin to formulate that question in any way that feels natural to you. Perhaps you write it down, perhaps the words form in your mouth, so you may speak them. And as you stand before the Sphinx that is now yourself, you may ask your question. Settling the mind, receiving the answer. Remembering that she speaks in riddles and rhymes. Not necessarily rhymes, not necessarily riddles. But there is always more to the answer than what is given. If this does not work for you, you may try it as many times as you need to. Being patient and kind with yourself. You ask the question, and an answer is given, whether it's the one you wanted or not. Begin to tuck the toes under and tuck your chin in toward your chest, lengthening the spine. Keeping those elbows in. Finding your breath. Begin to release your chest down toward the earth, bringing your arms out to your sides to a T position, palms face down. Legs come out long behind you. Lift the right leg. Bend at the knee and bring it all the way over to the left side. You may need to adjust the position of the blanket, but you want it to be somewhere in the side body, opening up the tissues of the side body. Your top arm can reach up toward the sky if that's restful for you. If not, bring your fingertips to the floor above the head, or rest your fingertips next to your chest. Become aware of any tension you're holding here in the lower back, adjusting the knee, the foot, the leg. Relax the jaw. Settle your ear into the earth. If you need a little blanket under the head, you may place one there. Begin to see a black orb growing at the sole of your foot, your left foot, just beneath the foot, in your mind's eye. This orb is a magnet. Name what you wish to release, and it will draw it out of your body, out through the left foot. Breathe in and breathe out. Feeling that draw, that pull out of the left foot. It is here we meet the hunter of dreams. I am the hunter of dreams. I go forth in search of dreams that will enable me to transform myself and others. I slip between the shadows of night and the sunlight of day, between what is and what may be,
between hope and despair, between love and hate, in search of the dream that makes me human. Though I open doors for you who dream with me, I am also your guardian, and I protect you as you seek to transcend yourself and realize your innermost hopes. Dreaming is closely akin to the journey work of the shaman, as it can reveal to us the truths that we are not always able to access in daily life. In dreams, we have little or no conscious control over where we go or what we see. But this very randomness, coupled with the surreal images we may encounter, can make us more receptive to discovery. The hunter of dreams strides along beside us, open up doors of perception, perhaps revealing answers to problems, unveiling mystical truths, or enabling important realizations. Seeking a true dream is a vital part of living. Begin to bring the top arm down, forward. Begin to roll back onto your belly, bending both knees and moving the feet from side to side, resting your arms in that T position, palms face down. And from your experience of the other side, perhaps adjusting the blankets. And when you're ready, you'll lift the left leg, bend at the knee, and bring the foot all the way over to the floor on the right side. You may want to reach the arm up toward the sky. Maybe draw some circles and explore what spot in that shoulder is needed, perhaps resting the fingertips up overhead. Coming into your breath, making any minor adjustments, and then settling into stillness. Coming into the space between your eyebrows, to your inner vision, you begin to see beneath the right foot an orb, that black magnet. Allow it to draw out anything that is not needed at this time. Any heaviness, any tensions. Feel it draw out, breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in, filling the body, and breathe out. It is here we meet the shaman of song. I am the shaman of song. I sing from the hollow places of being, and the sounds I produce reach out to the edges of creation. When I sing, I bring healing, energy, peace, strength, joy. All these transcendent aspects of being are in my songs. Whether I sing for you or for others, my song is beneficial and open ways that might otherwise be closed. From the earliest times, shamans used the power of song to bring healing to those in need. and to feel their way into the heart of spirit. The song itself represents energy and life and transcends time, place, mood, emotion, bringing harmony in times of stress. We may not be singers, but we can sing in our hearts. The resonance of song touches all things, brings us closer to spirit, and teaches us to see beyond the personal into the infinite. The shaman of song uses this power to help us to discover and travel along our true path and to bring us clarity in times of confusion. Begin to bring the top arm back to the earth, grounding the fingertips. Gently rolling over onto your belly, removing the blanket, bending the knees and moving the feet from side to side. Rest your arms in a cactus position, elbows in line with the shoulders, palms facing down. This can be a gentle, small movement. And when you're ready, begin to bring your left arm alongside the ear, turning over onto your left side into the fetal position. Reaching for the right hand to the floor, press into the earth, and gently bring yourself up to seated, finding your bolster or your pillows and bringing them to your right hip. So you can place a block underneath the top of the bolster. You can build this up as high as you like, or keep it resting on the earth. This is personal preference. Bring the legs out wide. Bring your fingertips next to your hips and lift and lengthen the spine. Right foot comes to the inner thigh, left foot behind you. Bring your right fingertips to the outside of the bolster. Begin to walk your fingertips out, placing the belly, the left ear to the pillow, whatever is supporting you. If the left ear is too much of a twist in the neck, you may come onto the right ear. Settle the shoulders down, settle the forearms into the earth. Begin to relax and release tension in the lower body. Taking long, slow, deep breaths. Sinking more and more into the support beneath you. If you find yourself holding up through the arms, holding yourself up, adjust your support so that you can fully relax the upper body. If this twist feels very subtle, know that time and space are doing the work for us here. So we want to be as comfortable as possible. Any discomfort will only grow over time. We want to be able to maintain stillness. Begin to bring your awareness to your ear, your left ear, or whichever ear is touching, reaching down to the earth. And now in your heart space, you will call upon something you have heard, something that has been said to you that you once took for truth. Something that is no longer serving you. Perhaps you needed it for a while. Perhaps it did nothing but harm you. Either way, perhaps you hear the person who said it say it to you, and this could be very intense. Hold this in your heart space. Allow the emotions to fill. Where do you feel it in your body? That same magnetic feeling that we felt at the sole of our foot is now felt in the ear, drawing down through the pillow, down into the earth. And that magnet is drawing out this thing that you heard, this belief or untruth about yourself that you are now ready to release. Allow this magnet to draw it down and down into the earth, reaching through layer upon layer of soil and rock, down and down like a root. It reaches. And as it does this, you feel whatever it is that's taking release from your body. It's pulled out of your feet, your knees, your ribs, your shoulders, fingers, down into the earth, transforming. The earth receives it, makes it one with everything else, until finally your inner glance rests in the space of a cave. In this cave, you meet the spirit of challenge. I am the spirit of challenge. I challenge you to look at your life and to change it. I challenge you to forge ahead on your path in spite of opposition. I challenge you to look again at tasks that seem insurmountable and to accept the risks you face in trying to accomplish them. I demand the highest degree of perseverance and determination you can muster. With me at your side, you can tackle challenges that might otherwise deter you. Together we can face the hardest tests and emerge victorious. Challenges confront us constantly as we try to adapt to life's changing circumstances, fend off various pressures, and work toward our goals. They may be physical or emotional. They may be frightening or puzzling. Many of the challenges we face are intrinsic to our chosen destiny, but others rush at us from nowhere as byproducts of chance. The spirit of challenge is demanding and forces us to address head-on the obstacles that lie in our way. It allows us no room for procrastination or avoidance, and in return offers us the satisfaction of success. Staying here and settling into your breath. And in this cave, the spirit of challenge gives you a gift. It could be a word, Could be an object, could be a color or a note. Whatever it is, begin to draw it up through the earth. Drawing it upward into the ear. And from the ear to the heart space. Feeling this gift now in your mind and your heart, ready to integrate with the pulse and with the breath moving through you. Begin to press into each fingertip, drawing yourself up to seated slowly and gently. Bringing the legs out long and switching your bolster or pillow to the other side, the other hip. Setting yourself up to take this posture on the other side. So there's many different ways you can use the block at the end, various heights. This side may be different for you. You may want to place a blanket under the bum or under one of the knees, gathering those props, bringing your legs out wide, fingertips next to the hips, lifting and lengthening the spine. Breathe deep into the chest, ribs, belly, and exhale, belly, ribs, chest. Feel the crown of the head lift up, the root extend down. Begin to bring your left foot to the center of your right thigh, your right foot behind you, flexing the foot. Keeping that long spine, turn towards your pillow. Walk your fingertips out and rest your right ear down. Now, if you were on your right ear last time, come onto the left ear. We want to balance it out by having both ears grounded through this practice. Settle the shoulders, the forearms. Again, if you find yourself lifting up, see if you can find a different way to be supported so that you can fully surrender into this. Breathing deep into the body. And exhaling just as deeply. Like a wave that washes over you. And once you've settled in, begin to bring your awareness to the ear that is grounded. Feeling that connection. And now down into the heart space, ear to heart connection. You begin to hear something that you have said to yourself. Something that is untrue. A limiting belief or thought that you have carried around as if it were true. Remembering that we are only working with what is ready to be released. If something comes up that you are not yet ready to let go of, know that there are always other opportunities to do this work. So hearing this now, feel it in your body, hear yourself say it. Perhaps you visualize yourself standing in front of a mirror, saying it to yourself. The things we say to ourselves are often much harsher than what we would say to others. So this could be intense. Try to hold that feeling, try not to push it away so that you can observe where you feel it in your body. Do you want to move? Do you feel self-conscious all of a sudden wanting to adjust your clothes? Wanting to be anywhere but here? Notice. And then you will begin to feel that magnet down the ear. Charge it up. Send it down into the earth through a root that grows out from the ear, down through the pillow, down through the block, down through the floor, down and down into the earth. And this magnetic force is drawing this untruth, this self-belief that is no longer for you, out of the body, from the toes and the knees and thighs, from the belly, the ribs, elbow, finger. Feel it pulled out of your body, releasing into the earth, transforming, becoming one with everything else. This thing that you once said to yourself loses its power over you. You feel lighter, brighter as you continue to extend your vision down through the root, down and down. And eventually you will come to a cave once again, taking time to orient yourself in this space. It is here you meet the dancer of life. I am the dancer of life. I celebrate all that is and all that has been, all that will be. I dance throughout all the human and spiritual realms, following the bright thread of life that connects everything that has being. I teach love, I teach strength, and I impart a belief in the sacredness of all living things. I bring with me the power that breaks down all barriers, that survives in the face of all odds and shines forth in even the darkest of moments. Just as our ancestors realized that they were both part of and separate from everything alive, so we continue to share that relationship. The dancer of life reinvigorates our sense of life forces that surround us, both human and spiritual, and encourages us to learn from other beings. This dancer celebrates life and gives us the strength to seize the opportunities that each day offers and to rejoice in the spirit of adventure. In being with the dancer of life, you will receive a gift. This gift could be anything: a word, song, an object. Allow yourself to see, feel, or receive this gift. Having found it, begin to draw it up through the root. As the root curls up, up, up through the earth, up and up and up through the floor, the block, the pillow, into the ear. You receive this gift in your mind through the ear and heart connection. You then send it down into your heart, allowing it to integrate with the pulse and with the breath, being with this gift. Begin to press into each fingertip, slowly and gently bringing yourself up to seated. And turning the base of your spine toward the end of your bolster. So you can change the height of the pillow by adjusting the block at the end, or perhaps stacking more things on top of each other, creating a nice ramp for yourself. You may want to bring a blanket down next to you. Or have one underneath the hips. So turning your back all the way, bring the hips all the way back. And with a second or third or fourth blanket, using a blanket rolled up, connect the soles of the feet together, bring the knees out wide, and you'll wrap the blanket over the top of your ankles. So Alira will show you wrapping over the top of your ankles and then tucking the blanket in. If it reaches, place it underneath your thighs. And then begin to lower yourself back. Opening the arms out wide, palms facing up. Maybe even bringing the arms shoulder height to encourage a deeper opening across the chest. Alira has placed a blanket so that the crown of her head and her is coming down toward the earth. So this is another option, helping you to open the throat. If the blanket around the ankles is not enough to make you feel supported here, you can place blankets or pillows underneath either knee. And begin to settle into your breath, relaxing the jaw, maybe moving it from side to side, wiggling the nose, wiggling the ear, and then just letting them settle. Wiggle the fingers and release. Wiggle the toes and release. And we'll drop in deeper and deeper. Breathe into the hips and down into the knees and down into the feet. On your exhale, dropping in, surrendering any trying, any striving, any doing, and just be. And as with every posture, you may follow the sound of my voice and you may follow the meditation, or perhaps you float off and do some work of your own. Begin to bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrows. Seating yourself in the space between the ears, looking out over the home of your inner vision. Firmly grounding yourself as the observer. The observer gets up from their chair in the space between the eyebrows and begins to walk to the space between the eyes. And here we see an elevator. One of those old elevators with a gate. Pull back the gate and step inside. When you step inside, you see that you are on the 11th floor. And you have to get down to the first floor. Press the first button. The gate closes. And you begin to descend. 10. Feeling yourself sinking as this elevator moves down through the earth. 9. Your shoulders relax. Your elbows relax. 8. Surrendering more of your body into the support beneath you. 7. The hips and the inner thighs fully relax. 5. Down and down. 4. Knees and ankles fully relax. 3. 2. You are now fully relaxed. 1. You have arrived, and the gate opens. See the room in front of you and step into it, noticing whatever details you can about what surrounds you. And maybe you don't notice at first, but there is a fire that is spreading around you. The objects that populate this space represent the things that are being purified, This is the home of your solar plexus, your center, your ego, your pride. It is also your primary energy source, your vital life energy. Look around you as the fire begins to spread. Feel the warmth. Know that you are safe. It is here we meet the spirit of destruction. I am the spirit of destruction. My aspect may be fearsome, but my powers, although not always welcome, are a force for good. I have the capacity to annihilate any negative emotions that may weigh down upon you. If any emotional obstacles block your path through life, I can destroy them. To invoke my strength is to test your own, as I will force you to confront the darkest recesses of your mind. If your heart is true, I can be a powerful guide. When negative emotions plague us, they can ruin our contentment, damage our relationships, and undermine our sense of true self. Fear, guilt, resentment, anger, jealousy, all these can eat away at us spiritually, corroding our positive energy and locking us into negative patterns of thought. The spirit of destruction has the power to annihilate such negativity. It forces us to address disturbing truths about ourselves and acknowledge that no emotion can operate without our consent. Such healing violence brings an end to inner damage and the soothing sense of calm after a terrible storm. You may now begin to feed the fire and receive a gift from the spirit of destruction. Having received this gift, having fed your fire, you turn and walk back to the elevator, pulling back the gate and stepping inside, looking back out over the burning room, the furnace of your solar plexus that has now consumed and destroyed anything it needed to. And know that you leave this space a healthy fire, a healthy ego, a sense of healthy pride, love and care for yourself, energy, vital energy. As the gate closes, you press the button going up. Moving up the floors, 1. As you rise, you feel lighter and lighter. 2. Feeling that gift with you, rising up 3. Higher and higher up to 4. 5. 6. 7. 8, 9, 10, 11. The gates open and you are back in the space of your mind. Yourself, the observer, goes back to sit on the chair and watches the images play out in the space between your eyebrows. Keeping your upper body fixed, draw the knees in towards center, let them touch, maybe walking the feet mat distance apart. Relaxing the inner thigh. Settle into this place in your mind, allowing the gift from the spirit of destruction to integrate with the pulse and with the breath. And you may want to rest here, bringing the legs out long, or move over onto your side, removing the bolster from underneath your back, placing it underneath your thighs, maybe a rolled up blanket under the ankle. Maybe a blanket over your body from toes to chest. Trying to stay as low to the ground and as deeply in this relaxed state as possible. Bringing your arms to your sides, palms face up. Settle the hips, settle the knees, the ankles and the feet. Feeling fully supported in the back body. And for the first time in your practice, all the energy, blood, breath flows freely. And we have one more meditation before we come into silence. Choosing to follow the sound of my voice, or simply relaxing into your own practice. We come back to the space between the eyebrows. We come back to that seat that looks over that space. Becoming the observer of our own thoughts. Perhaps you take this time to fully see the seat that you sit upon. Deepening your awareness as an observer. And in the space between the eyebrows, you begin to see a doorway, a threshold, a gate, with a light behind it, shining bright and inviting. And when you are ready, make your way toward the light. Observe what you can of this door, of this threshold, of this gate. If When you are ready, step over the threshold into this new bright space. This could be a formless, bright space, or a room, or a field. Each of you will see it differently and allow for that. Notice how you feel in your body in this space. This gentle brightness all around you. Feel it on your skin, in your hair. Just underneath the nails, on your hands, and your toes. Lingering in this peaceful energy, you meet the spirit of initiation, our final guide. I am the spirit of initiation. With me at your side, you will begin to understand the mysteries and wonders that surround us all at every moment of our lives. I may initiate you into many new experiences, but above all, I can show you how to find truth and wisdom, which will help you to overcome most of the problems that may beset you. There is a point beyond which all who seek the path of enlightenment must travel, and this I can show you whenever you are ready. Initiation opens doors between different states of reality. For the shaman, initiation was an introduction to the realm of spirit, where they would conduct their work, receiving from otherworldly guides instruction in the work of healing and inquiry undertaken on behalf of tribe or people. Initiation could take many forms. This experience of being guided by otherworldly beings can still be ours today if we learn from the spirit of initiation. And perhaps now the spirit of initiation will gift you a guide, will gift you a tool, will make an introduction for you. And this is a guide for your new beginning. Take this time here in Shavasana to connect with them, to follow them if they encourage you to do so, to ask questions of them. And unlike the Sphinx, they may answer you clearly, or they may not. If your mind wanders, come back to the space between your eyebrows or come back to your breath. Or come back to your guide, perhaps seeing their face or their shape. There are many ways to return to center, finding what works for you here. Always returning back. Returning back to center when needed, not straying too far. Coming back to your breath, to your third eye, or to your guide. You may start to begin saying goodbye to your guide, preparing to leave this bright space. Perhaps you make plans to see them again. Perhaps they've given you instructions. And as Shavasana is corpse pose, we are now going to enter into a process of rebirth, moving from death to life. Bringing some animation into the fingers and toes, reaching out through each finger and through each toe. Turning your right ear toward the mat. Lifting the chin up slightly and tipping it down. And moving over onto the left ear. Tipping the chin up and bringing it down. Moving your head back to center. And you can continue to move it from side to side if you like. We'll start to rotate the wrist one way and then the other. Getting out any clicks. Begin to rotate the ankles one way and then the other. Point and flex the feet. And as you do this, reach your arms up overhead, taking a big stretch, nice and long. Breathe into the body, breathe in, holding the breath in, extending, release. 2 more times like that, pointing the toes, reaching out through the fingertips, breathing in, pressing the belly up toward the sky, lots and lots of tension in the body, release. 1 more time, reach, and release. Standing your feet on the floor, mat distance apart, rock the knees from side to side, waking up the glutes, the lower back, the spine. Bring your right hand to your heart space, left hand to your belly, connecting your right hand to your heartbeat, feeling the rise and fall of your breath under your left palm. This is your moment of gratitude. I invite you to find something that you're grateful for here today. Let it fill your heart space and travel with the pulse and with the breath. You've done a lot of work here tonight. So being sure to include yourself in that list of things to be grateful for. Taking some spacious breaths. Extend your right arm up alongside the ear, turning over onto your right side into the fetal position. You may rest here with a blanket between the knees, if that's comfortable. Resting your ear on your arm. This is a moment of transition in fetal. Honoring the space between. Such an important space. Pressing into your palm, shift over onto your knees, keeping the knees together. Coming into a child's pose, sinking the hips back toward the heels. Arms to your sides, palms face up. Third eye to the earth. Breathe deeply into the back body, breaking up anything that might be stuck. And connecting the third eye to the earth as a gesture of balance and trust, balancing our intellect with our intuition, trusting that when we do this, we are able to make choices and decisions that align with our highest and greatest good. We invite faith in ourselves, in through the third eye, down through the spine with the breath. Turn the palms down toward the floor, pressing into the palms, feeling that earth connection. Begin to tip the crown of the head down toward the earth, chin in toward the chest. And feel this arc from crown to root. You will now begin to call in all fragments, all pieces of energy that are scattered out there in the universe, in the atmosphere, calling it in to this pillar of energy that exists, this arc of energy that exists between the crown and the root. So calling back all of your fragments. Feeling yourself fully integrated and whole. When you're ready, press into the palms and slowly and gently bring yourself up to seated, finding a comfortable seated position. So this may mean your hips are propped up with a blanket or a bolster, knees lower than the hips, or perhaps you sit back on your heels. Finding whatever works for you. Take your time to arrive here, to lengthen the spine. Integrated and whole, you come to see the circle before you. People known and unknown, beings known and unknown, all here and present in this circle, fully integrated, fully whole. We turn our palms forward in toward the circle, letting the shoulders relax down the back. And you now receive through your palms a feeling of connection from the root that connects us all and from the song that sings the universe. Feelings of kindness, compassion, empathy, community, support, all of the ways in which we are not alone. We receive this energy through our palms and allow it to travel into the heart space. Feeling wholly connected within ourselves, we begin to receive only through the right and give through the left, tapping into flow. Feeling that we do not need to save or reserve anything for ourselves and that we can fully receive and give at the same time. Perhaps you see in this circle someone you feel needs this energy of connection. Feel us holding each other here in this space. And know that this feeling is always there for you whenever you should need it, simply by connecting with the memory, the heartbeat, and the breath. Begin to draw your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with us, always.